welcome to day 2 of the Soul Blueprint Workshop. And I know this is going to be another really powerful day. Hope you found that to be the case yesterday. I know, it is like the channeling's gone to another level, isn't it? It's just so powerful now. So that means we've all gone to another level too, because he needs the audience to be able to receive it. So congratulations to everyone on that side. So, okay, I'm going to turn it over to Daryl. I know it's going to be a great day. I don't know about you all, but I'm like energized and ready for this. So, okay, Daryl, thank you so much. We
Thank you.
Very much appreciate what you do.
Thank you. Okay, we're done. Go home. That's all we wanted to say today. All right, have fun, everyone. Always. I'll have my own conversations. Yeah, you're welcome. That'll be my first book, My Life as a Telephone. Yeah, Bashar once said that in that context that then he was using ET&T to call here. I think it was really a mistake teaching them our humor. All right, have fun. I'll say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all?
Excellent.
All right, thank you very much. Before we begin with new information, let us continue the transmission with regard to questions on clarifications of yesterday's material. You may proceed.
Yes, good morning, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you. Yesterday you were talking about changing thoughts.
Yes, changing thoughts, changing feelings, changing beliefs.
Yes.
Yes.
And the foundational beliefs. I wonder if you have any suggestions as to techniques for doing that. It seems to be it's a very mental thing for me. And by the way, I love being around you because you make my brain sweat. However...
Oh, all right.
and today
Do you need to call a doctor?
I'm having a lot of heart opening today,
right.
and my question is...
So your heart is sweating too?
I hope not.
Why not? What is wrong with heart sweat?
Heart sweat is wonderful, but I don't think I want to work so hard to make it work.
Oh, all right. You don't have to work too hard.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so the question is,
yes.
are there any specific techniques that would connect from the mind to the heart, to the feelings, to that inner knowingness, to make the changes in those deceptive foundational beliefs that are the untruths?
Yes, well, it all hinges on the facility that all of you possess that you call imagination. This is what your imagination is really brilliant at. That is making that connection, making that bridge. When you use your imagination, when you fully use it, it's not just a mental act. It is that which gets you in touch with what is in your heart of hearts. When you envision, when you imagine in that sense fully, when you picture, when you dream, when you allow yourself to unfold the image within you that is most representative of your excitement, of your joy, of the reality that you prefer, you will allow yourself to begin, as you create and crystallize that image fully, you'll begin to feel your relationship to it. And as you feel your relationship to it, you will be blending the idea of your mind and your heart and your spirit. You follow me? And your body.
Yes, yes.
Imagination is the crucible in which all these other facilities and all these other vibrations can be melted together, blended together, and reformed into a new understanding of who and what you prefer to be as a person experiencing physical reality. Does this make some sense to you,
yes,
first of all?
It does. And could that be linked also to making a declaration, declaring and decreeing that my word is so?
Yes. And again.
And using my imagination?
Yes, and again. The idea is to allow your imagination to be your guide, because your imagination is specifically keyed to coming up with methodologies and tools that are specifically, shall we say, aligned to your vibration. In other words, your imagination is designed to come up with what techniques will work best for you specifically. That's what your imagination is for. You understand?
Yes.
So, when you say, is there a specific technique? Well, yes, but there are many techniques. Each individual will have a tool or a technique that will work best for him or her. So, even though there are some fundamental principles as we have shared them with you, your own imagination is your best guide for taking those fundamental tools, those fundamental principles we've already shared, and putting them together in a kit, in an order, in a methodology that works specifically best for you. So you must rely both on the information that you discover through your own synchronicities, through us, through any other avenue, what have you, but you must then blend that, put all that information within your imagination, and allow your imagination to put them in the proper order and use them in the proper way that's best for you. In that sense, you are amplifying them in that way by using your imagination with them, by using them in your imagination. Does that make sense?
Yes, indeed.
Is that sufficient to answer your question, or is there some other specific way in which you wish to explore this concept before we go on?
No, that's fine. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I would like a clarification on interactions that you have on a daily basis with people that, say, are negative, are depressing, are in some way not positive to be around.
Well, all right. Were you present when we delivered some of that information yesterday?
Yes, I was, and so that led to my question. What I usually do is just try to avoid these people. I don't find pleasure being around them, and so I avoid them. But yesterday I got the impression that we might actually grow faster, or
you can, yes,
if we are around them.
You can, yes, and that is a purpose that they can positively serve. The idea, of course, is in some senses twofold. Number one, as you say, not so much a matter of avoidance, but a recognition that if someone is of a vibrational frequency that simply isn't compatible with your preferential reality, then yes, you do not necessarily have to associate with those people. Mm-hmm. And that's all well and good. And then in that context, you're also giving them, by behavioral example, an opportunity to understand a consequence of their action. In other words, if they want to interact with you, they will also have to change their frequency for you to want to interact with them. Mm-hmm. If they choose not to, then there will be no interaction, and that will be seen as a consequence of the vibration that they are choosing and the vibration that you are choosing. So in that sense, you can recognize that you may not have compatibility, and you don't have to associate, but you don't have to look at it as avoidance per se, because the idea is that if you simply are of a certain frequency, it will probably be less likely that you will simply allow for an arrangement to occur where you will encounter them as often or even at all. However, on the other side of that coin, as you say in your language. If you then, with that understanding, still do encounter someone of that vibration, then yes, you have exactly and precisely understood that it can be used still, nevertheless, in a positive way to accelerate your own growth, to enhance your own growth, and also perhaps still yet as an opportunity or a possibility for them to learn something as well by seeing how you respond to them. Do you follow?
Okay, I understand that, then they would see how I would respond, but
Yes.
what benefit am I getting around being people that are depressed and negative?
Well, you could help them perhaps alleviate their depression.
Only if they're receptive to it.
Of course. But again, it doesn't matter because it still can be used by you in a positive way. Use your imagination on this. Mm-hmm. And again, remember, simply and fundamentally, there is no mystery to the idea that you might keep running into people like this just because you're on Earth, and that's the way Earth is. Right now.
It is, and
so it is not an issue of attempting to avoid that. In other words, ultimately there really is, at this moment in your evolution, no way to completely avoid that. Because you have made an agreement to recognize that there are still going to be a number of people going through their own processes, probably still exhibiting a lot of negativity, and so on and so forth. And you simply have to allow yourself to recognize that's the atmosphere in which you exist right now. And it will eventually change. But not right now. Right now you are still capable of running into many different kinds of people with many different kinds of beliefs, many different kinds of attitudes, some of which are going to be highly incompatible with yours. But you have to trust the synchronicity of your life in that if they are there in your life, if they do come in to your life, then there is something there that will help either you, them, or both of you, if you are willing to look at it from that perspective. Because again, you see, if you really are of a vibration that you say is the vibration of your preferred reality, then it won't matter to you who it is that comes into your life or who it is you interact with, because the interaction for you will always be positive, beneficial, and constructive, and allow you perhaps to exercise more compassion. You follow?
yes, it seems like as I think that I'm getting to be more positive,
Yes.
I'm actually running into more negative people.
But you see, then that's a good sign. It means
But,
you can handle it. Don't you get it? Remember when we said the idea is that growth on your planet at this time is not an exclusion principle, it's an inclusion principle. And the more light you create in your life, the more you will become aware of the dark that also exists in your reality. Becoming aware, more aware of more of the dark, means you are containing and radiating more of the light. So it's a good sign.
Except there's more and more people I don't want to be around.
But you see, you're judging it. And in
Yes.
judging it, you are matching their frequency, and that's why it's uncomfortable for you.
Okay.
It's uncomfortable not because you are actually staying in your frequency, it's uncomfortable because you're not staying in your frequency of preference.
Okay.
That's then, for you, obviously, one of the main reasons why you're attracting them. To show yourself that it is actually very easy for you to succumb to their vibration instead of staying in the one you prefer. And therefore, this is actually a constructive lesson for you. That it's easy for you to give up the reality of your preference in light of what they are offering you instead. And you
So-
don't have to.
So I would know that I have made a change when I'm around these people and I recognize that they're being negative or they're depressing, and I
Yes.
just don't respond to it in any way.
You respond to it in a positive way. But it
But I
doesn't
mean-
affect you in that sense.
Correct, that it doesn't
In
affect
a
me in
negative
any
way.
way. That's what I meant.
Negatively,
That it
yes.
doesn't affect me.
You can remain neutral with it if it does occur. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can also make your own statements
Mm-hmm.
in a loving way. You can make a statement to a person to say, your energy in that sense is not really compatible with the preference of how I wish to experience my reality. Now, I'm willing to assist you as far as it goes. But you also have to recognize that you have the opportunity to change your energy. And if you choose not to, I will love you nonetheless, because I allow you to choose whatever it is you believe is best for your reality. But I will have to simply let you know that A consequence of your choice might be that we may not interact any longer because I prefer not to have that energy in my reality. So you give them a choice. And in that sense, you put it on equal footing. At the same time, again, if they do keep coming into your life, it's still your opportunity to recognize that you don't have to give up the vibration of your preference just because they happen to be there. Otherwise, they are still simply giving you a chance to recognize that it's easy for you to give up your preference.
Okay.
Does that help you?
Yes. I also had a question about that you said that we're on the threshold of change and...
Well, of course, you're going through it rapidly.
But it seems like there's still a lot of violence and...
Yes.
And
Yes.
You read the paper and it doesn't
Yes.
seem like there's a big change. And
all right,
in general,
once again, please pay attention.
Okay.
The closer you get to the light, the more darkness will appear.
Okay.
Did I not just say that a moment ago?
Yes.
Well, then why would it be surprising to you that you will see more violence coming out? The idea, once again, is that as you close in on the threshold, you are giving yourself an opportunity to get all of the old stuff out of your system. But in order to get it out of your system, you have to get it out on the table in front of your face first. You have to see what's going on so that you can see that you can make a difference and make a change. But in order to make that change, you have to know what it is you are changing. And to know what it is you are changing, you have to see more of what it is you've been hiding under the table. So the closer you get to the light, the more capable you are of allowing the darkness that has been suppressed to come to the surface. So of course, there will appear to be at first more negativity, more violence. You're getting it all up out in the open so that you can really finally see what the choices are, dark and light, and allow yourself to choose the reality you really prefer. But that's a symptom of growth. It's a symptom of change, that everything will be there, not just one side. Everything has to be there before the change can really sink in.
It seems
Does
like
that make sense to you?
Yes.
All right.
It seems
you
like
say that with some resignation.
it's okay. Here's a resignation.
Why isn't that exciting to you? Why are you not defining that as exciting, knowing that that's a symptom that you're getting closer to crossing that threshold instead of looking at it as if somehow there's something wrong?
Because I hear what you're saying and I believe it on a global basis, but on an everyday basis, when you talk to people you work with or people that you meet,
yes,
and they're just struggling to get by, they're not
yes,
even asking questions, much less looking for answers. So there's I don't see a lot of growth.
So,
outside
not everyone on your planet will change.
But the majority are not.
Not everyone on your planet will change, and it may not even be the majority that will. That is not going to stop the idea of a transition. If in your mind you require a majority to go into the light in order for the entire world to change, perhaps you just don't understand the physics.
Perhaps.
The idea is this. Positive energy is integrative and geometrically powerful in that direction. Negative energy is segregative. And in that sense, it requires fewer people going in the positive to outweigh the amount of people staying in the negative.
Okay.
This is the idea behind the phrase that exists in your society of the 144,000. It means many other things as well. But the point is that if you actually have only 144,000 individuals vibrating above a certain frequency level on your planet in a positive energy format, those 144,000 will actually energetically outweigh the other several billion who may be still in negativity, because the several billion in negativity are not functioning cohesively.
Okay.
Whereas the 144,000 are functioning geometrically cohesively. So in that sense, their energy completely outweighs the other billion individuals who are not functioning cohesively.
I see that.
Does that help you understand the
Yes.
process?
Yes.
Then take heart. All right?
Okay.
Remember that as you shift and as you change, bit by bit, day by day, literally into new realities every moment, ultimately, yes, you will only ultimately, not right now, ultimately see only those operating on the same level with you. But the population of the world may not be the same in that new reality.
Okay.
Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Does that help you?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.